Okay, so you just said it's a relatively simple question for Yanez versus Rob
And
Font. What
it's
is the question
literally
then?
Rob Font has one strategy every single fight.
All right, let's
It's
start the
this.
timer. Go.
It's Rob Font's one strategy. It's just stay behind the jab, utilize your reach,
Mm-hmm.
and just continue pumping the jab the whole fight,
No,
punishing every forward movement, and win a decision.
yeah, that's what I was
Right?
gonna say. Like when you said stay behind the jab, I'm like yes, and then you kept talking. I'm like, dude, you can stop talking. Like that's his strategy. Stay behind the
That's true.
jab.
And everyone who's beaten Rob Font's jab and had the ability to take some jabs, but then get on the inside and land a bomb, land anything of power, literally do anything else besides getting hit by the jab, they win. And if
Right.
you don't do
Yeah.
that, then you
When he's
lose.
going up against like good strikers like Jose Aldo and Marlon
Yeah,
Vera.
exactly. Like all of them just found an opening to land a hard shot. They landed one or two hard shots in every round they won and dropped him. His chin isn't even that good. So it's like it's so fragile. It's such a glass cannon. It's like if they even land a two or one or two shots after getting jabbed a bit, they win the round.
Dude,
Like
his okay. So I have a theory about Rob Font, and I think his chin and like kind of like the glass cannon aspect of it supports this theory. My theory
yeah,
is that like I was hearing everyone saying like, oh, Rob Font is such a big step up in competition for Adrian Yanez. My theory is he's actually not a big step up in competition. Let's look at the people he beat. He beat Sergio Pettis in 2018. Okay, like that's a
you're talking
good
about
win.
Adrian
Sergio
Yanez.
Pettis is the bantamweight champion, I believe, in Bellator. That's pretty decent. Uh, he fights Ricky Simone in 2019. That's a good win, but I
Oh,
don't think Ricky Simone is like the Ricky Simone that we know
it's like the
today.
best win we've seen on his resume, though.
Hmm. Sorry.
It's the best win on his resume, in my opinion.
Well, right, because then we look like who are the guys he beat that were ranked? Marlon Moraes, who, let's be honest, was totally over the hill by the time he fought Rob Font. Put up zero striking, um, like just zero striking effort at all. Because at that point, I'm pretty sure he'd been knocked out a few times. So I remember like distinctly he came out immediately tried to grapple Rob Font because he didn't want to get knocked out again. Rob Font defended the grappling and then was able to finish Marlon Moraes on the ground.
Yeah,
After
pretty much.
that, he fought Cody Garbrandt in 2020, who was coming off of a 3 year layoff, and then he knocked out Rafael Assunção after the layoff, and then Rob Font was the second fight back in. Those were his two ranked wins. Marlon Moraes and Cody Garbrandt, both of whom aren't even ranked anymore. And they were on their way out when they fought Rob Font. Let's look at the guys he lost to in the rankings. Jose Aldo and Marlon Vera. Fair enough, like top five, top seven, like level guys. They're definitely like on the higher end of the rankings,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say they're like the most tough guys in the division. And Rob, let's be honest, dude, like Rob Font got destroyed by them.
Yeah, destroyed both those guys. Yeah, I got
Physically
like
destroyed by them.
pretty one-sided decisions. Like Rob Font landed a decent amount of volume, but just the damage being dealt was so night and day. You
I
know?
mean, he has good wins on his resume, right? Like a lot of recognizable names. Win over Matt Schnell, win over Douglas Silva de Andrade, win over Thomas Almeida, lost to Asuncao, lost to Pedro Munoz. But like this aspect that he's the toughest test that Adrian Yanez has faced, while maybe true, I don't think he's the step up, like the insane step up that people are talking about. Rob Font's
That's
ranked number six in bantamweight. That's like an insane overranking.
I think so too. I think so too. I mean, he was just on a decent streak there, and that's why he got pushed so hard. Everyone at bantamweight gets pushed pretty hard. That's why I kind of like the division. But yeah, I mean, Giannis, you're right. I don't know. I mean, where would you say someone like Davy Grant or Tony Kelly stacks up compared to Rob Font?
I mean, I think Rob Font has like a much better A game than both of those guys. Like as you said, his jab is ridiculously good, and it's gotten him to a sixth ranking in the bantamweight division.
Yeah.
But like Is he as dangerous as those guys? Like, does he beat those guys? Yes. But in terms of like what you're going to see at the top of the bantamweight division, I don't think Rob Font is representative of that at all. Because like he really only has offensively his A game of the jab. Like sure, he's probably a black belt in jiu-jitsu or something, but can he parlay that into
Probably
having a
has.
jiu-jitsu threat in an MMA fight? I don't
I
really
do
think
think
so.
he has good boxing combinations up his sleeve. He just struggles to implement them, I think. I
Right.
mean, does not have. That's
And then
particular.
also we need to talk about this, man. Like Rob Font's jab is his best weapon. Adrian Yanez loves boxing. He like
Yeah, he
apparently
does.
his favorite fighters are like Canelo and other boxers. The
But
guy's gonna know how to figure out a fucking jab in an MMA context.
especially just like knowing what Rob Font does going in. My problem is just that didn't he get rocked pretty badly against Davy Grant?
Rewatching that fight, I don't think he was ever rocked. He was hit pretty hard. Like and
He
this
takes a lot of shots. He
well
takes a lot of
this is the other thing that kind of makes me lean more towards Yanez. Like sure he gets hit in a lot of his fights. Like he was completely bloodied against Costa. He got fucked up by Davy Grant. He got bloodied by Tony Kelly even though he knocked Tony Kelly out in the first round. The guy gets the guy gets hit and he takes damage, but he can take that damage and he can dish out much more damage that he's taking in. Rob Font, I don't think you can really say the same about him. He doesn't really dish out damage that much. Like Cody Garbrandt, one of the worst and like infamously bad chins in the entire sport,
Yep.
just jabbed him to death over the course of 5 rounds.
Even
Never
yeah, I mean, he
even.
didn't even badly hurt Cody Garbrandt. That's the fucking
Yeah,
problem.
come
Like,
on.
what
If
are
you
you
can't badly
doing?
hurt Garbrandt, what are you doing?
And after landing so many shots, like that was just pitiful, man. I don't know. I mean, clearly his game, it's like how boxers are typically taught to fight. It's not about knocking them out. It's about landing over and over and over, like
Right.
and winning a longer fight. That's the style of boxing. That's like the general way people view boxing.
I mean, I
And it's kind of the same thing. He just trains at a boxing gym.
and we
And
also just need to talk about like the angles that Yanez takes. He does not like attack in straight lines. We also can't forget Yanez has a
which
good
is
jab
good.
of his own. Like
Yeah, he does. And I think his angles will help him get around the jab as well. Like the
yeah,
jab can't be used defensively when you're cutting angles over and over and over.
yeah. I'm really excited for that fight. Honestly that one's probably like my second most for looked forward to. Like Gilbert Burns versus Masvidal is gonna be fun, but
No, yeah, I'm not really. I don't care. I just don't care too much about
I think it's
Masvidal
just gonna be
anymore.
a wrestle fest up against the cage.
I think it's gonna be a lot of cage holding too. I agree.
Uh,
I mean, yeah, the main event I'm mostly looking forward to.
all right, that was 8 minutes.